My question is to Mr Mulholland, who last sitting week was kind enough to offer me advice on furthering the cause of cannabis reform. Mr Mulholland, in May you moved motion 1435 noting that Victoria's net debt will reach record levels by 2030, that Victorians pay the highest taxes of any state in the country, and that our taxpayers will spend more on interest repayments than on operating Victoria Police, Ambulance Victoria and all kindergarten services combined. If elected, a Wilson government would inherit this debt. Given then the grim fiscal environment a Wilson government would find itself in, and that it would be foolish, if not irresponsible, not to do all that it can to increase revenue, will a Wilson government legalise cannabis, or will it, like the incumbent government, recklessly reject the $1 billion in revenue projected by the Parliamentary Budget Office?
I'm sorry, Mr Ettershank, I can't put that question. The only question that could be put, if a non-government member has a notice of motion, they can be asked about when they intend to bring on that particular debate. So, if you want to rephrase about when he wants to bring on that debate, you can, Mr Ettershank, if you'd like to.
Thank you, President. In the context of the question that I've put so far, could I ask Mr Mulholland when the Wilson government will move to legalise cannabis such that it can pick up the $1 billion in revenue?
Sorry, Mr Ettershank, it needed to be isolated to when the member intends, and I think the and then I think the member in response would have to keep his answer to when he intends to bring on the debate and not respond to the preamble. So I will call Mr Mulholland if he chooses.
I'm very happy to speak to the timing of my excellent motion on government debt, and given that we now have an additional sitting week, perhaps that might be an opportunity between on the 23rd of September, a grand final week, to move that particular motion, because it is an important motion that goes to the $200 billion of debt that this government racked up. We are spending more, as the motion states, on the
Mr.
interest
Mulholland, I think
on the debt.
I think you've acquitted the answer within the... No, you've acquitted the answer. Mr Mulholland, you've acquitted the answer within the standing orders. When I'm gone, you're all going to blame me. When... I don't know if you can answer something, Mr Ettershank, but do your best. Have a crack.
Thank you, President. I always love to have a crack. Look, I thank Mr Mulholland for that response, and I suspect that that will be warmly welcomed by the newly formed Stoners for Mulholland group in the northern suburbs. In that same motion, Mr Mulholland, you further noted that there are currently 506 fewer full-time Victoria Police officers and 1,500 vacancies on Victoria Police rosters than when the Honourable Jacinta Allen MP became Premier, and that crime is at an all-time high in Victoria, with a criminal offence occurring every 50 seconds. By your own words, Victoria Police are vastly under-resourced. So I ask Mr Mulholland, when would you envisage that a Wilson government would consider removing criminal penalties for cannabis to free up scarce police resources?
Sorry, I'll rule that out, and we'll move on to. Is leave granted? No, leave's not granted.